The most satisfying video you'll ever watch. Okay. What is this again? Is this like pork fat? It doesn't look real. Look at how rubbery it is. The most satisfying video ever made. Okay, that feels a little bit like an exaggeration. Have you seen every single satisfying video to know whether or not this is the most satisfying video? Plus,
satisfying.
Oh, wow. Yes, I needed it. Whoa. Whoa, 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 no, no! Satisfying video that makes absolutely no sense. What do we got going on here? There's a hot plate that's placed on a purple substance, and now it's just melting. Somebody explain! Actual footage of a sperm fertilizing an egg. Wow. That is a lot of swimming he's having to do.
So what, this guy's just now like Sniper Wolf or something? Just finding random clips on the internet that are satisfying so they get the good title, and just stating what's going on in the video? This is content, guys.
Wow.
Out of all those videos, though, I think my favorite was this video is incredibly satisfying. Or maybe this video is incredibly satisfying too. That was like a close second. Also, this video is incredibly satisfying was pretty good too. This video is incredibly satisfying was also like up there in the running. This video is incredibly satisfying. That was like I don't know. That one was kind of like bad. But this video is incredibly satisfying. That was another close one. This video is incredibly satisfying. Maybe that's on the like the lower end. This video is incredibly satisfying. And you know what? That might be the winner. I think you know what, that one was pretty good. This video incredibly satisfying. I think that was the winner. I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out.
Only a genius will know what's wrong. I think it's pretty obvious. This person is clearly putting their hands at risk by literally putting it into the machine, and they could lose their hand. The drivers are wearing a seatbelt. There isn't even a car! Only a genius will know what's wrong. I think it's pretty obvious. They messed it up completely when they put on that bracelet. They should not have put it on if there was the drivers are wearing a seatbelt. There isn't even a car! Only a genius will know what's wrong. I think it's pretty obvious. Numerous health violations. First off, the thing on the ground, the flies, the drivers are wearing a seatbelt. There isn't even a car! Only a genius will know what's wrong. I mean, it's obvious that there's some kind of manipulation that's going on with this video. Either it's been sped up. It just doesn't feel like the movement is that natural. The drivers are wearing a seatbelt. There isn't even a car! Only a genius will know what's wrong. It's pretty obvious. It's messed up. First off, the thing on the ground, the drivers are wearing a seatbelt. There isn't even a car! The drivers are wearing a seatbelt. There isn't even a car! There isn't even a car!
Nice. I think this evolution of Def Noodles content is probably my favorites. Not only are you just finding random clips online and just inserting your dumbass face into them and stating what's going on, but also just farming and milking the same jokes over and over again and just repeating the same shit. That's fucking epic, dude.
It is as cringe as a pickle ice cream. And whoa, pickle ice cream is cringe.
Pickle ice cream is cringe. Right on you, brother. Right with you. This guy's a fucking disease.
Now let's get one thing out of the way immediately, folks. Def Duty likes to call himself a comedian, but everybody knows he's not really a comedian. He doesn't know what a joke sounds like. He's never been inside a comedy club.
I just took a deal and test me. I'm 100% that bitch. Even when I'm crying crazy.
Yeah, I got boy problems. Folks, this Def Noodles guy is so sneaky. He probably went to an open mic night, paid $5, had all his friends show up, and told them to laugh as loud as possible so that they could make him look funnier than he actually is, because everybody knows he's not funny.
Dude, did you unironically show clips of you at a comedy club to try to convince people that you're some funny comedian? You can see, like, please tell me that you're this self-aware. You could see how much of a fucking loser you are, right? Please tell me. Please tell me. Please let me have that much faith in you, Def fucking Noodles, that you can see how much of a faggot you are.
The only way that I would actually believe that Def Noodles has actually performed in a comedy club where people actually paid to get in is if I actually got to see the lineup. What? Oh, that's the lineup. Huh. From February 11th, 2020. I see. Jeremy Piven, that guy from Entourage, was on a show with Def Noodles? And Jimmy Dory right before him? Folks, that doesn't mean anything. Just because Def Noodles has performed in comedy clubs doesn't mean he actually knows anything about comedy. If anything, it means he knows less about comedy.
Yeah, he did all of this because people were calling him unfunny. He pulled up the lineup. He pulled up clips of him performing at a comedy club just to prove how much of an epic, funny comedian he is. I think you missed the memo, dude. You're not telling jokes. You are the fucking joke.
They're trying to get me. They're trying to get me. They're trying to get me. They're trying to get me.
But yeah, this guy's name is Def Noodles. He's got 600k subs, and he's infamous for spreading false pedo allegations, because that's how much of an epic journalist he is. You know, we spread a little bit of misinformation. It's just the journalist way to go, and it's the code of conduct that Def Noodles fucking lives by. But recently on his channel, it's been basically the fucking Keemstar show. Even though he claims he wants to live the rest of his life without talking about Keemstar whatsoever at all, his channel reflects the exact opposite. He talks about Keem day in and day out on almost every goddamn video. And in case you guys weren't aware, he's changed up his approach to his content the last few months. He used to be a fucking cat boy in a Minecraft house, but now he's the internet badass who cusses out everybody like an epic Chad.
He went from being an annoying guy with cat earphones, like family-friendly guy. Now he's like a 14-year-old who found out about the word fuck.
Fucking.
Apparently, this is the real Def Noodles, the real Dennis, his true identity. Not this other washed-down, family-friendly version. This is the real Dennis Flatozy. This is him. Hey, are my dogs fucking barking again?
Fucking. Today we're gonna be talking about the biggest crybaby on the internet. He's extremely sensitive to criticism. He's cringe, he's unfunny, he's toxic. I'm talking about Def Noodles.
I know you're doing your hilarious sarcasm act right now, but that's literally accurate. Everything you just said was true. Crybaby and sensitive to criticism. You made a whole fucking video about Kavos critiquing you and simply criticizing your content. And for the whole runtime of the video, you're crying about how Kavos was too mean to you, and that you might even fucking delete your channel because of the things he said to you.
Hey guys, today's video is gonna be a little bit different. I'm just gonna have a conversation with you guys because I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys. I've just been kind of sad over the past few days, ever since that whole thing with Kavos where he basically tore my channel apart. Everything he said has kind of been cycling in my head, and I've been thinking about it and thinking of new ways that I can improve my channel. I am kind of going through a small personal crisis, if that's what you can call it.
Next is cringe. Those TikToks speak for themselves.
Actual footage of a sperm fertilizing an egg. Wow. That is a lot of swimming he's having to do.
And lastly, unfunny. Yeah, when you make a whole segment of your video trying to convince people how in fact funny you are by showing that you went to a comedy club, the joke fucking writes itself.
He's never been inside a comedy club.
I just took a DNA test and I'm 100% that bitch.
But on top of all that, ever since rebranding to the Keemstar show, he's made a lot of bullshit accusations about him, to the extent that any misfortune that dawns upon Def Noodles, somehow Keemstar is responsible, and he's to fucking blame for anything bad that happens to Def Noodles.
Anyway, folks, moving on to the biggest serial slanderer in the history of the internet, who once again decided that yesterday was a good day to slander me.
Affirmation Noodles claimed they got his Twitter banned with zero evidence, even though I tried to help him get it back at first.
Now, folks, we've been over this. If this fucking fraud wants anybody to believe that he actually did reach out to Twitter on my behalf to reinstate my account, that he should share a screen recording of the messages he exchanged with Twitter, including Twitter's response.
So his first claim is that Keemstar was responsible in him getting his Twitter account banned and taken off the website. And I find it so funny that he starts off this segment saying that Keemstar is a serial slanderer when he's making a claim with no fucking basis. And instead of showing evidence and proof that Keemstar is responsible for his Twitter account getting taken down, he then shifts the burden of proof onto Keemstar for him to prove his innocence. Hey, dumbass, if you're the one making the allegation, you have to fucking provide the proof. You have to show the evidence. It's innocent until proven guilty, retard. What don't you understand about that? And it's so crazy that a 600k 1,000 subscriber news channel doesn't understand this. That's so fucking scary. Next though, apparently one of Def Noodles' podcast episodes got taken down for a TOS violation, and he puts out this community post saying, "So Keemstar took down the latest episode of my podcast 4 hours after it was published, but I re-uploaded it anyway, lol." Now, this is a statement. This isn't an opinion. This is literally just Def Noodles saying, Keemstar took down an episode of my podcast. There isn't any assumptions. He's not saying this is strictly just my opinion. He's stating it as a fact. And when you state a fact, normally you have something to back it up. So let's see what Def Noodles has to back this shit up. He makes another post on his community tab, except this time it's on his podcast one, where it says, "So Keemstar took the latest episode of the podcast down for minor safety. Anyway, I'm re-uploading it, LMAO, should be back up in 1 hour. And he shows the email that he gets from YouTube saying, "Our team has reviewed your content and unfortunately we think it violates our child safety policy. We remove the following content," and that's the episode of the podcast. And again, he states this as a fact that Keemstar took it down. No debate. He doesn't give any nuance to the situation, even though he doesn't provide any evidence. And he even shows the fucking reason why YouTube took it down. Child safety. Is just because you talked about him in the podcast, now he somehow is responsible for it getting taken down for a completely unrelated reason? What is this logic?
I'm aware of the impact that I can have on people, and you gotta be careful. And I feel like social media platforms don't really like educate someone with the dangers of like misleading their audiences, not even in like misleading them with fake news, but leading them down like certain paths, right?
For someone who takes a firm stance on misinformation and calls out many people for spreading it, you spread your own fair share, motherfucker, and a lot of it.
A lot of context is lost on social media.
Now he got a YouTube strike and claims I did it. Zero evidence.
Yes, it is my opinion that Keemstar has something to do with the latest episode of my podcast getting taken down for a community guideline strike for minor safety. Every time I talk about this subject, any strike and suspension that I attribute to Keemstar, I make it abundantly clear that it is my opinion. Okay, I'm not sharing this as fact.
You're fucking retarded. There's no joke. There's no meme. You're just wrong. You're just straight up fucking lying. You made this community post before you uploaded this video, and this community post is directly saying Keemstar took down the latest episode of my podcast. What about this makes it abundantly clear this is your opinion? It's not. This is stating a fact, you dumb motherfucker. And all your fans as well in the comment section, they take it as a fact. They don't take it as an opinion piece. They don't take it as something up in the air and worth a debate. There's no nuance when you say Keemstar took down this episode. You're just fucking lying. But you know what? Hey, he is the master comedian. He is the funny man. He is the guy who's been to multiple comedy clubs. So maybe he's just being fucking retarded as a joke. Maybe we just spread misinformation as a meme. Maybe we're just spreading false allegations as a joke nowadays. That would be pretty funny, Dennis. Next though, he claims that Keemstar unironically called him a pedophile and tried to ruin his life by this. Now this was in another of his community tab posts where it was convoluted with another drama that he had with this guy called Papa Guts, but that's for another video and another time. But this was also in the community post. My interest in debating Keemstar is solely to call him out for purposely trying to destroy my life. To make it absolutely clear, debating Keemstar isn't a choice. I feel compelled to do it so I can clear my name, and to be absolutely frank, if I could, I would live the rest of my life without talking to or about Keemstar. Yeah, man. So true, King.
I'm not sharing this as fact the same way that he falsely accused me of being a fucking P-word and presented it as fact. He falsely accused me of being a fucking P-word, okay? This isn't because he said I was unfunny. I don't give a shit whether Keemstar thinks that I'm funny or not. However, somebody constantly attacking me privately and publicly and then literally trying to destroy my life with a false accusation is something that I do not like. So pardon me, you dishonest fuck, if I do not like the fact that you literally tried to destroy my life.
Aside from the hilarious irony that this is the guy complaining about getting false pedo allegations towards him when he's spread multiple to other people, fucking great. But this is the smoking gun. This is what Def Noodles is referring to when Keemstar unironically was trying to ruin this guy's life by calling him a pedophile. This is a tweet by Keemstar. Def Noodles has allegedly groomed girls from ages 12 to 15. Big YouTuber source. Victims are scared of him and wish to stay anonymous, but may come forward soon. Hashtag drama alerts. This is the face of a pedophile. Before I explain the context behind this tweet from Keem, Def Noodles already lied about Keemstar. He claimed that he presented this information as fact, but Keemstar literally said Def Noodles has allegedly groomed girls. You're fucking retarded. He didn't present this as a fact. You literally just lied.
Okay, I'm not sharing this as fact the same way that he falsely accused me of being a fucking P-word and presented it as fact.
But the explanation and joke behind this tweet is that at this time, Def Noodles was on Twitter making multiple false pedophile allegations with no basis, even to the extent where he would cite someone who literally fucking had hashtag meme and hashtag funny as an actual source of a fucking allegation that James Charles was a pedophile.
On the 5th of April, Def Noodles fell for a satirical TikTok post, which absolutely is the most ironic situation to transpire thus far. In the sea of allegations against James Charles, some seemingly credible and others not so much, Def Noodles fell for a TikTok post that was clearly labeled as hashtag funny, hashtag meme. These are literally visible from the thread he made, and this is an unnecessary mistake that could be attributed to the lack of research.
You would have known it, you moron, if you just checked the tags of the TikTok, which were right there, hashtag meme. And if in your thick brain you thought to do any research before publishing an extremely serious accusation, you would have seen that the date on the DM was 2016. James Charles is 21, Def Noodles. 5 years ago, he too would have been a minor.
So obviously everyone in the community was making fun of him, including Keemstar. So Keemstar gives him a taste of his own medicine and makes this tweet where the whole big joke was that it was a big YouTuber source. Like, this is obviously fucking ironic. This is obviously a joke. Sure, it's unoptical. Sure, it's probably not the best business decision, but I don't give a fuck. It's Keemstar. I would do the same fucking thing if someone's openly spreading false allegations and being a piece of shit, especially if it was about me. I don't care about this, and this was so obviously fake, and anyone who genuinely saw this as a real tweet is too retarded to function in society. It literally said big YouTuber source. That's literally the source trust me bro meme. That's literally that joke, and you're out here claiming, yeah, this is a big allegation, this is a big threat to your life, Def Noodles. I bet your life is in jeopardy because of this fucking tweet from Keemstar. He really tried to destroy your life, dude. This guy's a fucking joke and hasn't changed one bit since 9 months ago when Nick DiOrio dropped his bombshell of a video.
Hello, watch me play some tennis. Below, catch me days in Venice. Solo, patching ways like menace. Dolo, matching days with chemist. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys. I've just been kind of sad over the past few days.